What's going on YouTube? It has been a while, YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to start uploading these videos to Facebook as well. Welcome to my room, the recording studio, if you will. What we're going to talk about today is that deadlifts do not make you some gigantic freak. They're probably not the greatest exercise to do for if your goal is solely to be as muscular as possible. One consideration to make when programming deadlifts, and the most probably important consideration to make when programming anything, is what is the goal of including this exercise in the program, and can you successfully do the exercise without experiencing pain or discomfort or whatever. So you need to ask yourself these two questions. It's pretty simple. Is your goal to be strong at deadlifts? If yes, you should put deadlifts in your program. And are you a powerlifter? If yes, you have to do deadlifts. So I think it's important to look at the principle, like the specific adaptations to impose demands. The said principle. If you want to be strong at deadlifts and you're a powerlifter, or if you just want to be strong at deadlifts, then you have to do deadlifts because that's the only way you're going to get strong at them. I mean, of course, you can do like the accessory exercises for them, like exercises that are like deadlifts that help the deadlift. I'm not going to go into those, but there's a variety. Like there's just tons of exercises like deadlifts, block pulls, rack pulls, RDLs, band deadlifts, dynamic efforts. There's so many different ways to improve your deadlift. But the main way to improve a deadlift or any lift is to do the lift. Same with sport. Main way to get better at sport is to do the sport, not lift weights. So if anyone tells you you're doing some special sport-specific program, they're wrong. There is no sport-specific program. If your goal is to be quite large and muscular, you especially don't have to do deadlifts. So one of the main reasons I really don't like deadlifts for size is that there is a lack of an eccentric component to these lifts. These lifts, whether or not, I mean, this term's a bit funny, but I'm going to use it anyway. Deadlifts are more neuromuscular, right? In that sense, like they quote unquote train the nervous system. The reps aren't really enough. You're not going to do a high number of reps for deadlifts. I mean, you can if you're looking to accumulate volume, but really, I haven't seen anyone do, like in a smart program, intelligent program, I haven't seen anyone do over 10 reps. And even that, 10 reps is a lot. You might get more in an AMRAP set, but even then, if you're getting more in an AMRAP set, I mean, the load isn't enough to stimulate the strength adaptations that you need. Like if you're getting over 10 reps and you're not lifting heavy enough in an AMRAP set. Now, the reason this is so important to consider, and this is from the conditioning research in the hypertrophy section. Look that up. They're a fantastic resource to use and a fantastic website to go to if you need to know anything strength training related. Eccentric phases, they're a more effective means of hypertrophy than concentric muscle actions. And with deadlifts, the majority of the lift is a concentric contraction. That's like the slowest, grindiest point of lift. You lift it up. Sometimes you don't even do the eccentric component. You just drop it. And this is because during eccentric phases, there is a larger amount of mechanical tension in the lift, if that makes sense. So you have to consider the three factors affecting hypertrophy, which is one, mechanical tension. I think that's the most important one. And if you look at the research in Schoenfeld's papers and stuff, it probably is like there's more of an inclination to consider mechanical tension above all else. That being said, they're factors for a reason, and all of them in their entirety need to be factors considering when you program programs for yourself or whoever. The next one is obviously metabolite accumulation, metabolic stress. That metabolic stress comes from higher reps and muscle damage, which brings me to another important point about deadlifts. There's a lack of muscle damage as well during just the concentric portion, and also you're not going to be able to accumulate a large amount of muscle damage, which isn't like the be-all end-all to getting massive, but it is an important consideration to make, and it's one of the three factors. It's a third of your muscle gains if you're looking at it from and no, they're not equal. I don't think they're created equal, the muscle damage, metabolic stress, and mechanical tension. I think mechanical tension makes up for more of your muscle gains than the other two, but they're still all important to consider. So yeah, there's a lack of an eccentric component, which means there's a lack of muscle damage, and there's a lack of mechanical tension. They also, like the eccentric phase in and of itself, permits more volume that you can accumulate within the session and within the entire mesocycle, macrocycle, etc. So if the lift limits the amount of volume you can do potentially, then it's going to limit the amount of muscle you can potentially gain, thus making deadlifts not the greatest exercise to induce hypertrophy. That being said, they are a great exercise if you do want to get stronger, and you could argue that getting stronger is going to translate over into being able to do more reps at a lighter load, and thus you can handle, thus you can do more volume because you can lift heavier at a lighter load and you can use more mechanical tension, or you can apply more mechanical tension to your frame. But deadlifts in and of themselves are not the greatest exercise in terms of the eccentric component of lifting based on that. Also, how cool is that? I mean, the missus made it. It's pretty cute. Eccentric components are a very important part of lifting for hypertrophy, and deadlifts just like that eccentric phase, and that's probably not the greatest thing to do if you're looking to be massive. That being said, if you like doing deadlifts and you want to do them. I'm not going to tell you not to do them, and don't go telling everyone you watch this video and go, "Oi, Mark said deadlifts aren't that great for gaining size, so I'm not going to do them and you're done for doing them." That's not what this video is about. It's just about critically appraising some programs that incorporate deadlifts into hypertrophy programs when the sole goal is to literally be massive, and then people are doing deadlifts for singles and you're like, why? Another really important point to consider is overlap, and the lift is very fatiguing. Like, it's probably the most fatiguing lift of all, like, the main lifts. And when I say main lifts, I don't just mean squat, bench, and dead. I mean like squat, bench, dead, overhead press, barbell rows. Those main lifts, like the sort of conventional compound lifts. This is the most fatiguing, and then some, in my opinion. Like, from my understanding, elite deadlifters don't, like, probably deadlift every 10 days, maybe even like once every 2 weeks, because the stimulus is so fatiguing, because it's so intense that there's this large, and I've talked about stimulus recovery adaptation, there's this large SRA curve, and it requires a longer time to recover from the said stimulus. So let's say your sole goal is to get a lot bigger. Doing this lift really heavy may mean that you need like a whole week to do the lift again and recover. And then you won't be able to do your other sets as effectively because you're still recovering from your deadlift. And like I said, you can only realistically do them heavy like once a week from what I've seen. Obviously, you can do dynamic effort work, but in reality, is there much point to doing dynamic effort work as a bodybuilder or someone who's looking to just be as muscly as possible? I don't think so. I've posted about it in blogs. I've talked about it in other videos. Check them out. But they are probably the two main reasons why deadlifts aren't the greatest thing. If you can think of any other reasons why deadlifts probably aren't that great for size, post them in the comment section below. If you think deadlifts are wicked for size and that you just have made a ton of gains doing deadlifts and you owe deadlifts to your whole posterior chain development, then by all means, post that in the comment section below too. Thank you very much for your time. I'll post this on YouTube and Facebook. I don't know why I said that, because you're going to be watching it on YouTube or Facebook anyway. Leave comments, like, share, subscribe, do all that cool YouTube stuff. And if you don't, it's the internet and who cares. Thank you very much. Speak to you in the next video.